So I'll open it to you first, Gov. Trump can say this is a big win on his ability to control birthright citizenship. That is nowhere in the opinion.
No, it's definitely not in the opinion. And to your point, look, it's a win for the democratic process, the presidency, the next Democrat president, and there will be one. Could be in just a couple of years if Republicans don't play their cards right. They're going to be the beneficiary of this too. What it really does, to your point, is it limits the scope of what people can do within these federal court decisions. And theoretically, you would hope that would disincentivize some of the more frivolous federal lawsuits that are trying to infringe on that executive power. I was a governor, right? I mean, I had this stuff happen to me as a governor, as a chief executive. I had judges in New Mexico trying to, push back against what we were doing in New Hampshire, but it would apply to then all 50 states. It made absolutely no sense. So if they want to do the class action thing, that's fine. You got to put in the work and actually do it and make a case with a variety of folks. So no, I don't think it's a huge win on either side, and it's definitely not a win for birthright citizenship because they haven't even taken that up yet. I think it'll pass. They'll vote on it, but that will probably be a year or two away. So, they got a lot of steps to go through before they can claim victory there.
If it's still even ripe at that time. I mean, Chris, to me, I was really surprised that the brothers and sisters on the left, whatever you want to call them now, wanted to make this some big boogeyman about how bad it was for justice. The plaintiffs in the case get the relief the lower court said. Trump cannot decide 14th Amendment issues on a whim.
Yeah, I mean, that's correct, and I don't think you're totally wrong. But the Supreme Court had the ability to see this for what it was, a blatant violation of the plain meaning of the 14th Amendment. They could have mentioned that in dictum, or they could have ruled on it themselves, because they've been known to twist themselves into pretzels to make rulings that are clearly needed. And this is a situation where the President of the United States does now have the authority in places where this order and this freeze is not in effect to determine whether or not people are citizens based on the status of their parents. And that is not the plain language of the 14th Amendment, and the Supreme Court could have easily dealt with it.
I don't know, because then they would have been violating their own principle of standing. And they would have been expanding a ruling beyond the plaintiff class. And here, the remedy is obvious, Chris. If he does that stupid BS to somebody else, then they sue. Then they sue. And then he'll get stopped again like he just was.
Well, forgive me. The plaintiffs here did have standing.
You're forgiven.
Right? They had standing in that jurisdiction, and it was a case in controversy that the Supreme Court could have made a ruling on. The Supreme Court can pluck any case it wants and make a ruling if they so choose. They have broad powers to determine this stuff. And again, this should be an open and shut case. It should be a one-line opinion.
It is an open and shut case. But you are assuming that the plaintiffs in this case even argued it should apply to the whole country. They didn't. They were arguing for themselves. Look, here's my point. I don't want to do the legalities with you because they're plain. Anybody can read the decision. You don't have to be as smart as Chris Hahn. You can do it. You could be a mouth breather like me. You can figure it out. Chris, this is my point, is that nothing escapes the grinder. This is why nothing's happening in Congress right now for immigration.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening with any of these laws. Sununu, this is for you. There is no reason to try to fix anything. All you have to do is oppose. That's it. Cooperation makes you look like a pussy.
Yeah, raising money on outrage, right? Outrage sells, and it's selling through a whole variety of different ways. It's my biggest frustration. I've met with individual Republican senators one at a time, and they'll say, "Yeah, we're gonna really balance the budget and get our fiscal house in order," and they do nothing, right? Because all of their effort is on the outrage. The fact that they don't even try on an immigration bill. I've told them, I said, guys, Republicans, eventually you're not going to have control, and the Democrats will pass their version of an immigration bill. You should love the opportunity to pass a kind of more conservative, fundamental bill that you want to see around immigration, but they won't touch it. They're so afraid because they can't garner that outrage with their team. And that's a huge frustration. It doesn't happen as much in the states, right? Because there's just more connectivity to what's happening between governors and legislators and mayors. But at the federal level, again, the only place in America where there's no balanced budget amendment, the only place in America where there's no real accountability to the constituents. This is a chain reaction of campaign finance reform problems, gerrymandering problems, term limits that are drastically needed. It's like all those pieces could be done, self-imposed.
The Senate
get
itself.
Everybody on track, but they refuse to do it.
I don't know about term limits. I think you need a constitutional amendment for it to really stick. But Chris, I'll tell you, look, we even saw it with the War Powers Act that Tim Kaine brought up for this. If you switch the R's and the D's, and this had been Biden that did this, the Republicans would be going crazy about it being extra constitutional.
Yeah.
It's not even a close call that this is something that Congress should have to flag. There's nothing imminent. There is nothing that goes directly to our interests or assets. And everybody knows it, but it goes down straight party line except for Fetterman on one side and Rand Paul on the other.
I agree with everything that Governor Sununu just said about the grinder and about the problems in Washington and the lack of accountability. I throw the United States Senate itself in there because it's just extra democratic, because there's not a clear representation. In the state Senate in New Hampshire, you've got people who represent a district and they are equal districts. We don't have that in the United States Senate, and it leads to one state being able to veto much bigger states. But you know what? You're right. You know, when the parties are switched, things change. In 2013, there was a great immigration bill called the Border Security and Immigration Modernization Act. It passed the United States Senate. John Boehner could not even bring it to the floor in the House of Representatives because his members were revolting because they wanted the issue to campaign on, just like Trump wanted the issue to campaign on when Biden cut
just
the deal
like
with
AOC
Republicans
wanted
in the
it,
Senate.
and the squad. Just like AOC and the squad wanted it to show that Republicans are heartless and that you should let everybody in and have amnesty. They used it too,
There
brother.
is politics. The politics drives everything all the time. It is getting worse and worse by the day. Something needs to give. And look, I want to see ambition counteracting ambition again, even when the person in the White House is wearing the same color jersey as the people in the Congress, because we've got some things going on in the presidency right now. The imperial presidency has been developing for 7 generations in this, 70 years in this country. It's time for Congress to take back its supremacy.
Well, they do it, but they're paying fealty. I have to jump, but I'll tell you what, it's on your watch, Mr. Hahn, because it's your side that's ramping it up now. MAGA, the Republicans got consumed by MAGA. Everybody knows it, all right? I don't know what happens next, but it's not the Republican Party. The policies don't reflect what they're supposed to. You know, I grew up watching my father debate. I know you are, but, you know, you're not running stuff because you didn't listen to me and you didn't run when I told you to. But, you know, I watched the governor's father debate with my father. That was a Democrat and a Republican. Now you got MAGA and you got whatever you guys are cooking up right now, whatever you're going to call it, where socialism is okay. I got to jump. We'll keep the conversation going.
The
Have a very good weekend.
swings. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah, but too much. That's the problem. Stop it in the middle. That's what we need to do. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.